Hello class, in this video I'll share my feedback to the first week of assignments. So I'm really glad that we almost get everyone to submit the assignments on time, since for most of you this is the first time you use Maya, and I'm glad to see we have so many high quality assignments submitted. Okay, so now let's move on to topic. So first one, some of you accidentally created a keyframe in your model. Technically, it's not an issue since if you are doing animation, you will definitely use keyframe, right? But for modeling, if you don't understand how keyframe works, and sometimes it may cause problem. Okay, so let's take a look at the model. The student did a very good job modeling this chair table. However, if I select this part, as you can see here, it's marked in red color. Okay, so that means you accidentally created a keyframe. And also in our timeline, you can see that it has a red mark on 1, which is a frame 1. Okay, see, the problem is if you are at a later time, see, if I go to a later time, the top part, it disappeared. The issue happened is because, see, when you are doing modeling, you accidentally hit S key on your keyboard. By hit S key, your keyframe of the keyable channels that the model have, which is the transform channels, right? And it will record its position, its rotation, its scale at that time. And when you get to a different frame, for example, if I'm at frame 20 and I move the table and I change the scale of it, it looks like I made the change, but if I just go to a different time, you can see that it jumped back. So basically, it recorded everything I have on the model at frame 1, and when I get a different time, whenever I change the model, it doesn't apply the change. So that is the issue. So let me show you how to fix that issue. And the second issue some of you had is the model is not symmetry. It's off center. For example, this table, as you can see, it is slightly off center, right? The table cover, here is the longer. And also the two necks is not symmetry. See, if I select this one, the translate Z value, which is on Z axis, on this axis, it has 18.9 units to the center of the world. However, this one, it has 19.9 units to the center of the world. Right, it's not symmetry. So how I can fix this issue is I will just delete this neck, that one and that one, since it's not symmetry, and then I'll just left one neck here, and then I hit Command D to make a duplication, and then I can move it, right? However, instead of manually move it, I will just flip it's translate Z value by add a minus sign here, and it will flip this model to another side. So now if I select this model, you can see it's an 18.9 and here's a minus 18.9. So both of them has a equal distance to the center of the world. And to flip the model to this side, you'll just invert its value on x-axis, right, which is this axis. So if I just duplicate this model and add a minus sign here, it'll be on that side here as well. So if I make a duplication, add a minus sign, it'll be here. Alright, on the top part, since it's not centered, so I'll just delete it. And here you can create a new cube. You can bring it up, and then you can hit arcade to change the scale. So you can click on this plane, so you'll be able to scale on both Z and X, or you can do it on individual axes. For example, here I'm scaling on X and then Z, right? So don't move it left or right, otherwise it will be off-centered. And then here I would like to move it a little bit down. Alright, so that is the symmetry of your model. And then in the second lesson, we also have some small issues. First one is the double face. So double face is a very common issue in modeling. As you can see, this part of the model is flashing, right? So that is a double-faced model. So let me move this part out so you can see what the issue is. So if I enter face selection mode, see, I'm selecting this face. See, I selected this whole thing, right? And I hit delete key to delete this face. However, after I delete it, see, here you still have a face, right? So the earlier face and this small face, they overlap with each other, so that causes the flashing issue. See, if I just delete it again, there's still something exists here, right? See, so there's a multiple faces overlap with each other that cause the issue. So let me show you how the double face issue happened. Right, this is the neck part of the TV stand. So for example, if I select this side of the face, if I go to edit mesh and extrude, so once you apply the extrude, it will move it out, right? However, if you applied extrude but you forgot to move it out, or you move it to a different position, different side, for example, if I move it along this axis, see, now I will have a double face around this area, right? So if I move this face out, as you can see, here's one face, two face, three faces, and when I push them back, see, so the three faces overlap with each other, so that is the issue. To fix the double face the model, it is hard, you know. If it is my project, I would just delete this whole thing, you know, instead of taking time to investigate where the faces have been double faced, where the faces have been overlapped. It is really time consuming, so the easiest way I would just delete this whole thing and remodel this part, and in the future steps I would prevent that issue happen again. So that is the most, you know, efficient way to fix that issue. And here's the TV model one student created, and as you can see that at this part it also have this issue, right? So when you extrude the model and you extrude it multiple times, or when you extrude it, you haven't moved it to the proper location, so it causes the faces overlap with each other. So that's how the problem happened. Inverted face is another common issue, very common issue in modeling. Okay, so let me show you how it looks. So as you can see, for this TV stand, this part is in black color, right? And this part is also in black color. So let me move it out. If I put my camera in the model, you can see the inner face has lighting and it's shaded, right? And the outside is purely black. So that is because the model, the face has been inverted. So the outside face now have been inverted to the inside, and inside face have been outside. And to fix that, you'll select this model and go to mesh display and reverse. So for reverse, you will reverse the face direction. So now the inner face will be reversed to outside. So that is the correct way to display your model. You know, some of you reported that Maya crashed while you were working on your project and you haven't saved your project, and then you have to make up everything again. Okay, so here's my suggestion. When you create your model, save your project first time, save as a MA file, which is here. Okay, here the students save it as an MB file, and save it as a MA file, and also constantly hit Command key and S key to save your file. For example, whenever you model the top part and then move on to the side part, hit Command key and S key. So that will save your current step of your project. And then when you finish the TV body, I would say, you know, save it as a separate file and move on to another file, which is here. I save it as a step 2, TV finished. And then once you finish the key step, move on to the third file, you know, save as a separate file. So here I see step 3, TV stand, then body, being finished. Right, step 4, finish the stage. So you constantly save every step by hit Command S, and when you finish the key step, you know, move on to a new file, save as a new file, so you will have this hierarchy to track back each key steps. So that's my recommendation for this. Alright, so now let me show you some examples of the models the students created. Andy created all these 3 models in a different file, separate file, and she brought all the models together, which is great. So it's okay if you have all of the three models separate in the file, or later on you put them together. It's just your preferences. Okay. And since Andy already put three models together, so we can take a look of the scale references. Think about it. In the later assignment, she created a sofa, and she may create some vases, coffee cup, and some books, and some bookshelf, some task light, ceiling light, and then she will make her scene more kind of enriched, and she will create an interior model. So now let's move on Casey's work. And this is a TV stand Casey created. I'm glad to see that she already moved on to the vases. Okay, the vase model. Though it is not required that you create them, but I'm glad to see she already started to explore them. Let's take a look at Chad's model. Chad did some creative on the model and changed the scale, the formation of this TV stand, which look good. Now let's take a look at Aaron Potter's model, and let me apply shading to the model so you can see it better. I really like the structure and it looks great. And Hanki Zahar's model also look great. The structure and the wireframe all look good. And let's take a look at Joe's model. Let me show you the TV. And the wireframe, the structure is very neat. And this is the TV desk. And I like Rose's cafe table, and I like how he pushed down the top face and created this structure. So I like the creative change he have done. And also I like the vase model he created. As you can see, he have the out face, and then the vase have a thickness, and this is the inner side. Okay, so I haven't moved on to the vase modeling, but he already created the vase, and it's nice and it's clean. Okay, so this is a very good example of a vase model. And the TV stand is also look good. Okay, so here I only included 7 student work, but we have more works. Okay, it's valuable to share, and all of the works have a good quality. Here I only included 7 models, since each of the model they have something I want to share with you. For example, Rose's model, he did a creative change on the table, and also he created the vases, and another student also created a vase. In the first week of assignment, I'm glad to see that everyone started modeling in Maya very quick, and also created a very high quality models for assignments.